On this matter, the court will take notice that on August 18th, 2020, there was a petition regarding the child engaging in delinquent conduct, alleging in one paragraph that the child Rodney Moore, on or about April 6, 2020, in Tarrant County, Texas, recklessly caused serious bodily injury to Tyjae Jackson, a child under 15, by discharging a firearm and shooting Tyjae Jackson, or by handling a firearm in an unsafe manner and shooting Tyjae Jackson. It's also stated that a firearm is a deadly weapon as set forth in the Texas statutes. The child was served summons on October 23rd, 2020 regarding this case with a return date on the same date. Also present at this proceeding is Mr. Hopkins, the grandfather of the child. The mother was previously sworn in on this case and in case number 112666 as a witness and has failed to appear at any proceedings since then and is not present today. Mr. Spence, were we able to contact mom to give her notice of today?
Your Honor, I did text her all the Zoom links today, so she's aware of the hearing.
So she's aware of the hearing of Zoom, but she's not here. All right, so Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
I want to go ahead and start. There's a deal that your attorney worked out with the district attorney's office. And so first I want to do is I want you and Mr. Hopkins, if you can both raise your right hands for me. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently a trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Sir, what were you saying? No, Rodney, what were you saying?
No, I said nothing but the truth. I said the same thing you said.
Okay, but you said that before I finished talking. Like, what were you asking me something do you understand what I said?
No, I said nothing but the truth. That's all I said.
Okay, so let's start this over. Mr. Hopkins, if you raise your right hand. Each of you solemnly swear the testimony about to give at this cause currently a trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
All right, you may lower your hands. Mr. Moore, I'm going to ask you your full legal name.
Rodney Moore the third.
Okay. And what is your date of birth?
9/27/08.
Are you an American citizen?
Yes.
So I want to let you know that you are looking at a felony level offense, which means that you could be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for an indeterminate sentence. That means I could commit you and they could hold you up until your 18th birthday until they felt like you were rehabilitated. That means you could follow the rules, you could be respectful, that you would not be likely to reoffend and commit a new offense while you were juvenile. And that can be, you could be there for one day or you could be there all the way up until your 18th birthday. I want to let you know that if you do get committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, that any of these proceedings in juvenile that you're committed for could be used against you in the adult criminal courts. I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything at all. However, my understanding is your attorney has worked out a deal with a district attorney for that you to admit true of your delinquent conduct, that you actually committed the injury to a child, and that if you admit true, that you would get the benefit of an agreement, which is placement in a juvenile facility, and then receive probation after successful completion of your placement. Is that do you give up your right to remain silent to get that deal?
I'll go.
I'm sorry?
I will go. I'll go. Okay.
Oh, but do you give up that right?
No, I don't want to give. Well, I'll take the whatever. I don't know.
Let me explain this again, okay? I understand you're only 12. So, Rodney, nobody can make you say anything, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Nobody can force you to admit to anything. There can be a trial, okay? But you are saying, what I understand, what I've been told, is that you're saying that you will give up your right to remain silent, that you'll admit to what you did. But if you admit to it, you're only admitting to it if you get the deal that your attorney got for you, which is placement and probation instead of TJJD. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you understand that you don't have to say that you did this, but you're giving up that right? You're saying you want to give up that right and admit to the injury to a child. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I admit.
Okay, so you give up your right to remain silent?
Yes.
That's a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also have a right to a trial. You don't have to go through this. You don't have to admit to this. We can have the district attorney provide all the evidence to me. I would listen to witnesses, see pictures, videos, body cams, anything. And I would decide whether or not you committed the injury to a child, the shooting the child. You need the district attorney to prove everything, or are you willing to admit that you did it so you don't have to have a trial?
I just want to get it over with, so I just take the placement and
Okay,
do everything.
but you have that right to a trial. I need to hear that you're giving up your right to a trial.
I'm giving up the right to a trial.
Okay. You also have a right, if you decide you don't like me, to have a jury hear the same evidence and they would make the decision about the injury to a child. So 12 people would sit in the courtroom, they would hear the same things I would hear, and they would make the decision whether or not there was a shooting of a baby. Are you giving up your right to have a jury make that decision?
Yeah, I'm giving up the right. Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have a right to appeal. However, if I follow this agreement, you are giving up your right to appeal, that this will be final. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And do you give up your right to appeal if I follow this deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have a right to confrontation. That means any witness that comes and testifies against you, you have the right to look them in the eye as they're testifying, and your attorney can ask them questions and cross-examine them. You understand? So we're not going to have any witnesses today. Are you giving up your right to confrontation?
I'm giving up the right.
Okay, thank you. Now, Rodney, I need to let you know I do not have to follow this deal. Okay? But if I don't follow this deal, then I will let you withdraw your plea of true and go back, and you would have all your rights restored. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Hopkins, I previously swore you in. Could you identify yourself?
Yes, Mark Hopkins, grandfather to Rodney Warren Moore III.
Great, thank you. Are you the one that's had kind of care or providing for him?
Yes, I am, sir.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Barrows, is there any reason why your client will not understand the proceedings today?
No, Your Honor.
Is he fit to proceed?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Moore, you are here today because the state of Texas filed a petition alleging that you were delinquent. That means you violated one of our criminal laws. However, since you were under the age of 17, you were not in a criminal court, but you were in a juvenile court. They're saying on or about April 6, 2020 in Tarrant County, Texas, you recklessly caused bodily injury to Tyjae Jackson, who was under 15 years old, by firing a gun and shooting Tyjae Jackson, or by handling a gun in an unsafe manner and shooting Tyjae Jackson, and that a firearm is a deadly weapon, and that you knew a firearm was a deadly weapon. You understand what they're saying that you did?
Yes, sir.
Stay wave opening.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the court will take judicial notice of a stipulation of evidence, judicial confession, and disposition agreement that is filed with this court. Also filed contemporaneously was a 3914 manifest, and filed with the court under seal is a social history. The court has not viewed the social history at this point in compliance with the Texas Family Code. Are there any exhibits or witnesses from the state?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Moore, do you understand what a stipulation is? Okay, I don't expect you to. A stipulation is it's a fancy legal word, and it means an agreement. But it's an agreement that's set in stone. You can never go back and undo a stipulation. You understand? So whatever's in this document that I have here, if you're telling me that you agree to this, what you're saying is that for the rest of your life, you can never go back and take it back. Okay? So here's an example. Let's take your grandpa on Zoom here. Okay, so your grandpa, if I was to say he was wearing a light colored shirt, okay, is that something you'd agree to?
Yeah.
Or let's say your grandpa wears glasses. He's wearing glasses. Is that something that you could agree to?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand if we stipulate to this, 30 years from now, we can never go back and argue about what color his glasses were today. You understand?